No, so much no.
Congratulations, you won.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
hairs.